6:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Lavani Vichetunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Minister of Power and Energy plans to reduce the fuel queues. Attention has been paid to distribute additional stocks of fuel. The Petroleum Corporation requests the public not to panic over the fuel shortage. All three-wheelers in the Western Province will be registered from the 1st of next month. It has been emphasized that vaccines of proper standard are being used to eradicate COVID. Chairman of the United National Party says that the party will march forward in a new path. And in news overseas, Russia blocks nuclear treaty agreement over Ukraine reference. Those were the headlines, and now more to the details of the local news. After reviewing fuel distribution, the Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijayasekara today instructed the distribution of additional stocks of all products island-wide in the next 3 days. He said the lapse in distribution, delays in unloading and delays in the payment for orders by fuel stations have created the long queues. However, the ministry is planning to minimize the queues in the next 2 days. Meanwhile, the Petroleum Corporation has announced that all stocks of diesel, petrol and kerosene oil can be distributed without any shortage. The operational activities of the Sapagaskanda refinery facility has recommenced and measures have been taken to produce fuel continuously. Refinery activities of all kinds of fuel are being produced at the Sapagaskanda refinery. There are sufficient stocks of fuel in Kolannava and Muthuraja village storages. Therefore, the Petroleum Corporation has requested the public not to panic due to some false information saying that there is no fuel in the country. Chairman of the Commuter Transport Authority of the Western Province says that plans will be made to register all professional three-wheelers operating in the Western Province from the 1st of next month. Registration will be carried out online. It has been identified that there are around 350,000 three-wheelers in the Western Province alone. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. Specialist doctor of the epidemiology unit, Samitha Ginige, says that only proper standard vaccines are being used for the COVID eradication. The approval of the WHO has been received for it. It has been emphasized that there is no need for unnecessary doubt about the vaccines. Individuals over the years of 20 years of age have the opportunity to obtain the vaccines, and it is compulsory for the elderly who are over the age of 60 years to obtain the vaccine. Chairman of the United National Party, Vajra Abeyawardena, says that the UNP will march forward in a new path. He made these remarks when participating in a discussion with the representatives of the local government bodies and organizers of the party on the 76th anniversary of the party that falls on the 6th of next month. He also stated that the leader of the party, President Ranil Wickremesinghe, is a leader who accepts challenges, and he has proved it. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. Minister of Power and Energy plans to reduce the fuel queues. Attention has been paid to distribute additional stocks of fuel. The Petroleum Corporation requests the public not to panic over fuel shortage. All three-wheelers in the Western Province will be registered from the 1st of next month. It has been emphasized that the vaccines of proper standard are being used for the eradication of COVID. Chairman of the United National Party says that the party will march forward in a new path. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for this evening, the historic Asla Festival of the Sabaragamu Maha Saman Devalaya will begin from tomorrow, and it will be held until the 11th of next month. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
And And in Watch Light this evening, the residents in the Call district have requested to provide permanent land deeds expeditiously. They stated that they are facing many difficulties when obtaining land deeds. It has also been reported that they have to face some problems due to requesting of ransom by some racketeers. This is for the attention of the Land Commissioner's Office in the province. And that came to you in Watch Light.
A strength to your life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Headlines of the world news. Russia blocks nuclear treaty agreement over Ukraine reference. Pakistan, millions affected by heavy flooding. Energy bills, middle earners will need help with the rising prices too, says the Chancellor. Those were the headlines, and now more to the details of the world news. Russia has blocked the adoption of a joint declaration by a United Nations conference on nuclear disarmament. The Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which is reviewed by its 191 signatories every 5 years, aims to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons. Russia objected to a draft text citing grave concern over military activities around Ukraine's nuclear plants, in particular in Zaporizhzhia. Participants in the last review in the year 2015 also failed to reach an agreement. 30 million people have been affected and hundreds have been killed in Pakistan. Governments declared as national emergency after heavy rains triggered historic flooding in the country. The National Disaster Management Authority said that more than 900 people had died since June. The country's climate minister, Sherry Rahman, said that floods have caused a humanitarian disaster of epic proportions. Officials have said continuing rains are hampering relief efforts. UK middle earners as well as low-income earners are likely to need government help to pay their energy bills this winter, Chancellor Nadhim Zahawi has warned. Energy regulator hiked the prices cap on household bills by 80% yesterday, meaning an average bill will rise to £3,549 a year from October. Speaking to the Daily Telegraph, Mrs. Zahawi said that even those earning around £45,000 a year may need support. He said the Treasury was exploring all the options to help households. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Russia blocks nuclear treaty agreement over Ukraine reference. Pakistan, millions affected by heavy flooding. Energy bills, middle earners will need help with rising prices too, says the Chancellor. That was the world news, and now let's move on to development news. The Agrarian Development Board says that measures will be taken to cultivate 21,200 acres of barren lands in the island for the Maha season. Accordingly, cultivation activities will be carried out in Hambantota, Monragala, Ampara, Batikalo, Kilinochchi, Trincomalee, Anuradhapura and the Polonnaruwa districts. And that was the development news.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank, we present your future.
Moving on to sports news, the Asian Championship Cricket Tournament will begin in Dubai today. The inaugural match will be played between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan in Dubai grounds. Sri Lanka is participating in the tournament under Group B. The match will begin at 7:30 p.m. local time. The match between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh is to be played on the 1st of next month in Dubai. The final match of the tournament will be played on the 13th of next month. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The CAB has asked for $400 million for importation of coal for the year 2023 at today's exchange rate, which is 160 billion rupees. The CAB has been spending around 20 billion rupees per month for electricity generation from diesel and furnace oil over April to July period this year. Having foreseen this eventuality, there has been a concerted effort to fast-track the development of the ready alternative roofing solar power by upgrading the Surya Balaya Sangramaya. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10-second prize winners. iPhones for the 10-third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSP U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And in economic news, treasury bonds worth over 40 billion rupees may be issued under 2 categories. The interest rate is 18%. The central bank said that the issuing of the bonds will be conducted on the 30th of this month. These bonds will expire on the 1st of July 2025 and 15th of July 2031. That was economic news. At the weather report to conclude.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the western, Sabarkamala and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nure Elia, Gaul and Matara districts. Fairly heavy rainfall above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabarkamala province and in the Kandy, Nure Elia, Gaul and Matara districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere during the evening or night. Fairly heavy rainfalls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batikolo districts. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The Minister of Power and Energy plans to reduce the fuel queues. Attention has been paid to distribute additional stocks of fuel. The Petroleum Corporation requests the public not to panic over the fuel shortage. All 3-wheelers in the Western Province will be registered from the 1st of next month. It has been emphasized that vaccines of proper standard are being used for the eradication of COVID. Chairman of the United National Party says that the party will march forward in a new path. And in news overseas, Russia blocks nuclear treaty agreement over Ukraine reference. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. Now it's back to your regular Saturday evening host and my good friend Mario on the other side of the glass panel to keep you entertained.